It's your face.
Right, I need you to put him on bypass.
Nipples are blown. He's gone.
I'm arresting you for the murder.
Hi, Peter.
Connie. I've spent the last hour with the press. My PA's taken on a tour of the hospital, speaking to the staff about Will.
Okay.
I said you'd give them a few words later.
Of course.
I think they've had enough of me going on about boring trust business.
Oh, I'm sure they're only too happy to have some of the chief executive's time.
Are you all right? Oh, I'm sorry, that's a stupid question. Of course you're not.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to write the speech for Will's memorial service.
Making progress?
It's so difficult to know what to say.
Well, don't forget to mention how much the board appreciated Will's contribution to the hospital.
No, of course. Come in. Thank you, Emma.
I briefed the press and the service.
Oh, still sniffing around for a story, are they?
Well, I did my best to accentuate the positive. You know, I mentioned the transplant operation you're doing this afternoon.
Peter.
Might get through to them that we're actually in the business of trying to save lives.
My patient died this morning.
That is a shame. Is there a problem?
No. It's just the paperwork to cancel those salary and pension payments.
Not one of your more enviable duties.
You seem so clinical.
We'll get through this. As a team.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Haley Kent has arrived.
I'll be right with you, thank you.
I'll leave you to it.
Right.
Oh, by the way, is Mr. Cutter's wife coming over today?
Yes, there's a car ordered for 3:30, I think. Thank you, Peter.
That's okay.
Saw him talking to a couple of hacks earlier, laying it on a bit thick about your transplant this afternoon.
Well, I break bad news to you.
How'd he take it?
Fine, actually.
Really?
Peter's an old friend of mine.
I wish you'd cut that hair.
I told you, Mum. I'm growing it out.
Mrs. Kent,
Oh, hello.
you must be Haley.
Thanks for seeing us.
Well, I've spoken to your previous consultant and, well, sounds like you've been having a pretty miserable time of it.
I'm sick of the sight of hospitals.
Professor Khan, an anaesthetist. I'm here to check everything's okay. How are you feeling?
She hasn't been at all well the last few days. Be a lot better if she spent less time giving me cheek.
She's such a worry. I'm okay.
My mum's exactly the same.
Well, basically, the purpose of today's visit is to assess your condition and see what we can do for you.
Mr. Bullock did say you were the best cardiothoracic specialist around.
Another one of your friends?
That's very kind of him. Okay, I need to listen to your chest. Would you sit forward, please? Breathe in. And out.
Breathing's been terrible the last few weeks.
When was your last seizure?
Less than a month ago.
I can speak for myself, you know.
Good for you.
It's so boring being ill all the time.
Mr. Bullock says you were anything but boring.
Here's the video of Haley's last echocardiogram.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a look at that. In the meantime, we'll run some tests and see what they tell us.
We should call Dad. Let him know I'm here.
Just you concentrate on getting yourself better, madam. We'll worry about him later.
Well, you should keep the boredom away next time you're in here for a while, eh?
Okay, how are we doing?
All right, the pulse 100, BP's 100 over 80, resps 24, oxygen level 92%.
Right.
Oh, this is Haley's dad, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
When will results come back?
Would you like to step over here?
I'm not kid, you know. I've heard it all before.
And we're fine here.
Okay. The echo shows that Haley's heart has become much weaker. The damage to the ventricle is making it difficult for the heart to pump blood around the body. Now, I'm afraid the long-term prognosis isn't good unless we operate.
What do you mean, long-term prognosis? Are you saying she might die?
We'd be looking at a maximum of 2 years, I'm sorry.
And, if she had this operation, how long would that give her?
Well, I'd hope for anything between 10 and 40 years.
Right, so the only option is to operate?
Hang on. We don't even know what kind of operation it is yet.
By removing the dead tissue from Hayley's heart, we can restore the left ventricle to its normal shape and improve its functions.
But there is a high risk factor.
How high?
In this situation, the survival rate is about 50%. Mr. Kent, given Hayley's current condition, I would say it's a risk worth taking.
But obviously it's a decision the three of you are going to have to make together.
Well, that goes without saying.
How soon can you fit her in?
We can try and find a slot this afternoon.
You want to do it today?
Hello, people, I am here, you know.
Why don't the three of you discuss it together properly? And in the meantime, I'll set up a TOE for Hayley and we'll have a clearer look at her heart. And then we'll be all set if it's a yes. Okay? Thank you.
It's going to be a hard job getting the father's permission.
If she doesn't have this operation, she'll die.
Possibly.
Keep it posted. Susan. What are you doing here?
I've come for the memorial service.
Of course, but you're, quite a bit early. Did we not send a car for you?
I got a cab. I wanted to collect Will's things from his locker.
Well, that's silly. I could have done that for you.
I want to do it myself.
Sorry. I have to go. Why don't I have someone show you to the staff room? Maybe you could get a coffee or something.
That'd be nice.
Rick, excuse me.
Susan, how are you doing?
Would you do me a favour and take Susan to the staff room, please?
Yes, of course. No problem.
Thank you. I'll see you at the service.
Come here.
No! It's our daughter's life!
Shut up!
What's going on? Could I have a word with you outside, please? A space has become available. Have you made a decision about the operation?
The answer's yes.
Listen, there's a possibility she might die.
She might die without the operation.
Yes, but I'm talking about here and now. Today. I mean, can't it wait?
It can wait, but if you're going to go ahead with the operation, sooner is better than later.
See? This way we'd be giving her a chance to live longer. And by the time we thought about it, who knows what would have happened? You can't run from this.
Can I ask, are you divorced?
No, separated.
Jane asked me to leave.
He was falling to pieces.
That's not true.
He couldn't cope. He still can't cope, which is why we're having this conversation now.
This is about consent, isn't it? So if we're not divorced, I've got equal rights over this.
How can you have equal rights when it's me that's looked after that little girl day and night for the last...
Do we know what Hayley wants?
She's a child.
No. No, I think we all know she's a lot more than that.
She's right, Mike.
Shall we?
Sorted these two out.
Well, I've tried my best.
Good. Made a decision then?
It's a difficult decision, love.
Well, we just wanted to hear what you've got to say about the whole thing.
I just want you to stop fighting and agree on something for once.
It's not that.
Because if I do die, I don't want one of you blaming the other.
I think your parents would really appreciate your opinion.
I don't want to live like this, lying in hospital, waiting for a heart that's never going to come. I want a chance to be a teenager.
This operation is a toss-up whether you make it or not.
I'll make it, won't I?
We'll do our best.
So we're going for it then?
If that's what Haley wants.
Okay, removing the redundant part of the left ventricle. Cortex patch and 3 Frailing, please.
So you managed to convince the father to go ahead with the op?
Actually, the family came to their agreement without my assistance. Okay. Suction, please. Right, hold this. More 3 Frailing, please. Need to patch the hole so it contours the ventricle. Concentrate. Keep the tension. We need to lock the continuous sutures at definite intervals, otherwise we'll be here all day trying to stop this bleed.
Connie, we all miss him.
We're almost there. Should we, start warming her up, please? Okay, we're looking quite good. This is sinus rhythm. Right, let's prep to take the cannula out, please.
BP's dropping. She's bradycardic.
Must be a complete heart block. Let's give her some atropine, please.
No response.
Right, no, pace and wise down, please. Come on, Haley. Pace at 80.
Pacing at 80. Pressures are back.
Okay. Chest training, close up, please. Need to keep a careful eye on her on the ward.
That's a close call.
Yeah, well, maybe something good can come out of today after all.
Oh, yeah. Saving a young girl's life always looks good in the press. Keeps the chief exec happy.
So are you saying she didn't need this operation?
All I'm saying, did she need it today?
Where's your other half?
He's in theatre.
Sorry I'm late.
Don't worry about it. Should have passed it. Love to hear about the operation.
Oh, Peter, does everything have to be a photo opportunity? I'm sorry, but I've just had Zubin on my case all day.
You all right?
The way he talks to me, you would think I was related to the Bourges. Not looking forward to this.
You'll be fine. Of the tragic nature of the loss of Will Curtis, and a testament to his character and popularity that so many of you are here today, I'd like to call on Will's close friend and colleague, Connie Beecham, to read the eulogy. Connie.
Thank you, Peter. Will Curtis was one of the most talented, committed surgeons it has been my privilege to work with. Anyone who came into contact with Will would testify that his passion for his chosen vocation burned fiercely, that his dedication was unwavering. His tragic, premature death leaves a hole in our close-knit team that is impossible to fill.
Stop it.
I was lucky enough to work closely with Will throughout his time at Holby.
Stop.
We forged a relationship during that time as strong as any I have experienced in my professional life.
Tell the truth. My husband has got plenty of friends in this room, but that woman is not one of them.
Susan.
You come here with your big speech, looking good for the papers.
No, that's
You made his life a misery.
Susan, it's not like
Oh,
that.
tell them about the bullying, making him work all hours, the harassment. We wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for you. You rushed through the opening of ITU. You put Will's picture in the paper. That lunatic would never have found him otherwise. His blood is on your hands.
Reckon it'll be a long stay?
We'll get her back to you as soon as we can.
Is that blood?
Sorry?
In the chest drain.
Yeah.
Haley?
All right. Mrs. Beecham will be here soon.
Haley? Haley?
The outpourings of an emotionally distraught widow.
I think what Connie's trying to say...
I think I've made myself perfectly clear, Peter. Shall we?
Yeah.
Made a fool of myself.
Susan, you said what you felt.
I just felt so helpless, listening to her lies. I wish there was something I could do about it. Excuse me a sec.
Gentlemen, if you'd like to finish this conversation in my office...
Peter, I need to be somewhere else. Excuse me. Hey, BP's low, let's give some more volume. Suction. Okay, there's a bleed from the bottom of the suture line. We need to urgently re-stitch it. Right, Zubin, let's give more blood. Have the pump on standby and get a cell saver. Right, can I have a pledge to 3 proline, please? I need you to hold the tension on this suture.
Pressures are very low. Where's that blood? Thank you. I've given adrenaline, but nothing's working.
The heart's pumping well. She's ventricularly paced. 2 more wires on the atrium. 3 pacing her should help.
Pressures are still low.
Give no adrenaline.
I've already done that.
And what's the problem?
Talk to us. Okay, right pupil fixed and dilated. Left pupil pinpoint. I think she's got a cerebral bleed. Possibly pontine. Connie, she's in circulatory failure. Vaso extreme. She's not even responding to inotropes.
Give her heparin and get her on bypass.
There's no point! Look, it's a small bleed and it's only going to get worse. You knew this was high risk, but you still went ahead. She's not going to make it.
She's got to.
Close her up, Connie. She's gone.
How is she?
Come through. Take a seat. Haley suffered a cerebral hemorrhage.
But she's...
She died in theatre. I'm so sorry. We tried up there. We did everything we could.
I'm sure you tried your best.
Come in. Peter. I assume you've heard about Haley Kent.
Actually, we need to talk to you about the memorial.
Look, I know Susan was a bit overwrought at the service, but it was an emotional occasion for us all. I think, give her some time and then I'll make an appointment with her and we'll talk things through.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
Yes, well, thank you for your advice, Zubin, but I'll handle this.
I'm afraid I think Zubin's right on this one. I've just been informed that Susan Curtis is making an official complaint against you to the board.
On what grounds?
I think she covered most of it in the chapel.
Oh, come on. I mean, how could anyone have foreseen that a newspaper article about Will would have brought Jodie Maxwell to the Holby? I mean,
That is not what she's complaining about.
She's saying you bullied him. And I'm not sure I don't agree with her.
Oh, of course.
All-nighters dissecting cadavers.
No.
Insisting he miss his son's own birthday, even though he'd booked the time off as
We
leave.
were understaffed.
Shall I go on? Little wonder he was considering changing disciplines to general surgery.
Susan Curtis is a grieving widow looking for someone to blame, and someone is helping her look. Board back me up all the way.
Actually, the board has expressed certain reservations about your performance in recent months.
What?
The premature opening of the ITU has been mentioned.
Peter, I'm so glad I could count on your absolute support.
There is the hospital to think about.
So you were hanging me out to dry.
Oh, come on, I'm sure we can reach a compromise that protects Holby's good name.
Yeah, what about my good name?
And provides a satisfactory outcome for all parties concerned.
So what kind of compromise are we talking about here?
A month or two's holiday, a quiet resignation, and a very generous pay settlement.
You want me to quit? Is that what you're saying, Peter? I want to be absolutely clear. You want me out?